Alright, here we go. So I needed a little bit more setup time than usual here to move my computer back around, and the camera's not quite properly aligned. That'll do. That'll do. So, it is Wednesday night. As always, it is a Dungeon Masters of Entrath night here on the channel. The weekly Hex TCG game show where I create a dungeon, which is a series of encounters for you to fight your way through, get all the way to the end, and win the grand prize, which is viewable by typing !prizes. Lose at any time along the way and your run is done, and the prize pool grows for the next challenger. This is episode 34. We have been running starting back in February, 7 months strong, carrying on. Current format is Immortal format. All sets are allowed. Commons and uncommons only. No rares, no legendaries. This is the current map of the current dungeon. Players will start in either room 1 or 2, your choice. And then, since the bonus rooms are one-off encounters that have been defeated, their prize is claimed. And 2 of the bosses have been defeated, as you can see by Ducklet and Peace Tinker. Once you have chosen your starting room, you're on a linear path, basically, until you get to room 6. And then at that point, you can choose your final boss battle, either boss number 3 or boss number 4. Getting into the dungeon is very easy. Basically, if you have a deck that meets the eligibility criteria for the dungeon and you would like to play, simply speak up in chat and let me know, and we can get you on the list here for tonight. The stream has not yet grown so popular that I have to do ticket raffles to decide who's going to be lucky enough to play. So thus far, basically anybody who wishes to participate, I need to grab a pen here just in case, anybody who wishes to participate has been able to do so thus far. I am still working on a special edition dungeon, hopefully with the intent of making that part of the Hex charity stream in October. Which is going to be Halloween themed. I've got multiple different phobias picked out to be the inspiration for different decks. And so now I'm building decks around different fears, like fear of ghosts, fear of women, fear of spiders. I have some more esoteric ones that I'm working with, like fear of rain, fear of mirrors. So that's going to be a fun dungeon, and that'll be coming up in October. But for now, we are still on the same dungeon that we have been doing for the last several weeks. Just a myriad of encounters. The rules: commons and uncommons only. No rares, no legendaries. Immortal format, so all sets are legal. Matches are best of 1. You win, you move on. You lose at any point along the way, and the prize pool grows for the next challenger. I believe !rules also works. That works to get you a list or a. Okay, I'll challenge again. Yeah, if is your in-game name same as Twitch? I think it is, but I could be mistaken. Let me test that. E/whisper. Oops, can challenge when ready. Oh my god, that's not even how you spell ready at all, but I think you're still watching. Whisper oh, no. Okay. Why did that work? Okay, so I need to know, apparently maybe that's not your game name. So I need to know from you your in-game name and what starting room you want to play in for you to be able to challenge the dungeon. That way I know which deck I'm playing, and then I can just verify who is sending me a challenge. Although it's usually obviously not a problem. There's channels not so congested that I have people trying to do fake challenges or anything like that. But just let me know. If anybody else wishes to challenge the dungeon tonight, let me know as well. I think WorkerBot's still broken. Otherwise, worker bot would be in the channel. Unless I need to manually add it after the last time it failed. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, so challenge when ready, and I just need to know which starting room. Otherwise, I will make the choice for you. I don't know which deck I'd rather play first. One is a random shenanigans, primarily singletons deck. It's just you don't know what's in them in advance. It's just starting room number 1 or starting room number 2. So do you want what's behind door number 1 or door number 2? Is really what it boils down to. And then from there you'll learn what's in them over time. The dungeon encounters don't change, so when you've seen a deck before, it's always going to be that. For as long as the dungeon is the dungeon. I don't change those. Alright, starting room number 2. Alright, I am ready then. Shoot me a challenge when you're locked and loaded with the deck you want. Remember, Immortal format. And we'll get the show on the road. Alright, so room 2 is actually not correct. It is start 2. Or as this one is commonly known, some people have taken to referring to it as the Bounce Castle. Not a terrible name for it. Pretty descriptive as to what it's trying to do here. Okay, this is acceptable. So Jocko Ren showing up with Benoshi the Ruthless. Pay 3 and sacrifice a troop to boost another troop by 2+2. We are playing Daughter of Stars, which starts with one of the highest life totals in the game at 26. Very restrictive charge power. You have to have 10 charges and quadruple Sapphire threshold. But it is a one-sided board wipe. Every card they have goes back into their hand. When another Shinhir you controls dies, that gets bigger. Alright, now that there's something in play, we have a thing we can stun. Again, just trying to delay time to allow us to build up a board and both swing through and try to bounce away everything the opponent's doing. Bonsagi, Deadeye. Okay, so when this dies, another troop gets -1/-1. An opposing troop. When another Shinhir you control dies, that gets +11/+1. I wonder if I want to swing here and attempt this trade. Maybe. Swing like this. Play Buccaneer post-combat to throw that back in the hand. That would get bigger from this trading, now that I think about it. Okay, so no trade there. Throw that back in the hand. We are just playing a tempo game right now. So, tunneling. This is an older mechanic, for those who may not be familiar with it. This was from set 2. Tunneling allows a card to be placed face down on the board so you don't see what it is. It'll have a number of tunneling counters that'll tick off. One counter will get added per turn. When it hits the number of tunneling counters it needs, it'll flip over and something happens. And so now I'm going to swing in with these two. Gotta keep trying to apply some pressure. Although that weakens the sniper, and now we're gonna get the Mystic Naturalist down here to start trying to make a bird army. I know I could be playing Thunderfield Elder as an AI only card, but I'm not sure that I need it right now. I kind of want to be a little more aggressive with troops. I might play it this turn though. Actually, no. I'm gonna swing with the Mystic. And use the Freebooter as a mobilized target. Mobilize makes the troop cost 2 less. So that's going to allow us to get the Cloud Bounder into play. Okay, another tunneled troop. So there's 2 things on the board we don't know about. So one Eulogist is sacrificed into the other, and that makes this a 5/5. And we're going to take that. We got 26 health, we can eat 5. And again, I'm going to swing in with the things that can swing. I could swing in with that, but I'd rather give up the Daring Freebooter first as a blocker. Just keep expanding that Air Force. You know, I could have done these two, but alright, so ooh, that's bad. Wakizashi, when this deploy target troop gets X+X, where this is its attack, so that's going to take out the Mystic Naturalist, gets -4/-4. We're about to get punished for taking Shinhair too lightly. It might not matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is lethal in the air. I think I let this hit. Because more damage things need to get removed. This is 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's gonna remove a thing. That can get rid of a bird. Alright, we don't have lethal anymore. We can swing in for 5. And I just need to stop a thing. I'm going to stun that. And yeah, I'll play the Thunderfield Elder 2 as a blocker. Gruesome Deed takes out the Cloud Bounder. One more form of removal and we don't have lethal anymore. We need to get through with this. Did not have. GG's, says Jocko Ren. Well played. I had forgotten to mention, but I think you've challenged the dungeons before, so you probably knew that Dungeon Master can use dungeon decks will use select rare and legendary cards as a kind of AI only type of card. So we're going to add into the prize pool, which again is viewable at ! Prizes, and we're going to add in to the ever-growing pile of cards here, an Inquisitor of Lumos off of the rare queue. So the current prize pool is sitting at 28,000 gold, 6 booster packs, and 2 different play sets of cards, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rare singletons and counting. So pretty decent prize pool to the brave challenger who is able to take out the dungeon. So if there's any other challengers who want to have a crack at it, of course, let me know. EFOS, you will be eligible again to compete. People are allowed more than one attempt at it. Want to give folks a second here to respond. Oh my goodness, draft is almost full. But if we don't have any challengers within the next minute or so, then EFOS, I will let you have another crack at it. Normally I make people have a cooldown of 1 match, like I'd fire off an Evo and try to play somebody, but I really want this stream to be about the dungeon decks and that experience as much as possible, so I've kind of cooled the idea of making people wait when there aren't a whole lot of challengers. Alright, I'm not seeing anybody else, and if somebody else shows up, I stream for 3 hours on a Wednesday, so if somebody pops in now and says they want to go, like, they're gonna have their chance. So you can challenge me again when ready, and then let me know if you want to do the same room again now that you've seen that deck, or if you want to do starting room 1, play the other one. So I just sent the Whisper over to Jocko Ren. I'm down for having a rematch challenge here. We'll see if Jocko Red wants to... Okay, wants to do the other starting room this time. So instead of starting room 2, we shall do starting room 1. Accept. Hit accept, right? It's loading. Okay. Come on, game. Let's go. Alright, Jocko Rin versus the dungeon. Take 2. This deck is a different tack than the one before. This one is Wild Shaper Caliban, and we are fully embracing RN Jesus. This deck is a pile of cards. I do believe every single thing in this deck is a singleton, with the exception of the one rare that is in this deck, that being a polymorphic army. So our goal here is to slap down as many just different janky one-offs as we can and continue to pile up more and more resources. And then once we have a critical mass of troops, transform them all into huge random death machines and overrun our opponent. It is pretty sweet when it works. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 resources in hand. I will Fate Weave for something else. And then Storm Drummer, so that in case that's a troop, it can do some battle. And then, you know what? No, I'm not going to attack. I will exhaust this, though, to throw my nuts on the board. Sorry, Jocko Ren, I got a big old pile of nuts coming at you. Fear my merry squirrel! Ooh, Killblade of the Milky Eye is good. 1/1 lethal for 1. Anything that it deals damage to is gonna die. Ugh. Swinging with the 2-drop, that's okay. We'll take that. Don't really want to eat it here. Whimsy Witch, you may have this battle turret. We don't want Whimsy Witch to battle. Unless we were to sacrifice it in the name of taking out that Killblade, which I suppose is one way of doing things. But I think the better play is to play the Whimsy Witch, not battle, and then mobilize everything to draw some cards. And now we are going to have to eat 3 damage next turn for leaving ourselves open like that. If Ephos or Jacko Ren wants to, well, I guess Ephos and Jacko Ren are the same person. If he wants to swing that way and slap us for 3, I'm okay with it. Crackback from Whimsy Witch would hopefully be something substantial, but the Killblade does get held up here to probably try to stop that. So let's... Yeah, I'm gonna crack in with both of these. Offer the trade. Okay. Now, if that is a thing that makes this smaller, it's going to be a sad day. I actually think I want to just use all my resources here efficiently and get the Cyclone Shaman out. Pass the turn back over. So now the Cyclone Shaman gets next troop that shows up will be able to pull an action with its cost from the crypt into the hand, which I guess is actually kind of worthless right now because Consult the Talent costs 7, but potential value later. That hurts. That is a 7/7. That is a flying 2/3 that makes us sacrifice a thing. So the least useful thing at the moment was the Storm Drummer. Alright, risky, but I'm gonna take the 6. Really could have done without a shard there. Alright, Eagerlackey, what you got for us? Zarlox the Broodlord. When this deals damage to an opposing champion, bury the top 3 cards of their deck and summon a spider spawn for each troop buried this way. Not terrible. Yeah, let's go ahead and play that. And let's see your pass because the Cyclone Shaman's not going to get through. Alright, so Wakazashi Ambusher could kill the Cyclone Shaman, and it's going to. Could have rendered Zarlox worthless too. Alright, we have another buried troop. Probably going to take 2 in the air. I can see this swinging too. I can see them all swinging actually. The crackback's not that bad in comparison. Only the flyer. And this is what we were waiting for. Okay, so do I do it now or do I greed? Try to get 1 more troop on the board. That's swinging for 6. Greeder's gonna greed. 7 can exhaust Howling Brave and this has 1 on it, but this plus this would mean Polymorphic Army can turn everything into a 7-drop. Eating the young ones. Alright, never mind. Greed punished. Yep, greeting was a mistake. That's 7, that's 8, that's 8, and one of these has to get blocked. Alright, so I'm gonna take the 8. By the way, if the music volume is too loud, let me know, because how it is in my headset is not the same as how you're gonna be experiencing it. I also can't I don't think I can't greed anymore there, so I have to make these 6 drops. Angel of Judgment. When another card you control enters a crypt from play, an opposing champion sacrifices a card. That would have been so good earlier on. Let's turn Bulky into an 8-drop. And now let's cry because we're dead. So Jocko Ren's got what it takes here. Because he can block there, he can block there, and still have to take 4 in the air. Alright, so Jocko Ren clears the starting room. I'll pull up the dungeon map here. So Jocko Ren is going to move on to room number 2 here on the dungeon map. And win at 2, we'll move on to 4, and then 6, and then choosing a boss fight from there. So right now it's a linear path. Your choice of starting room dictates how your first 2 encounters play out. You know which sequence of 2 you're gonna get. So GG's. If you're gonna use the same deck, I'll shoot you another challenge here. If you decline this, then I'll just assume you need a second to change out your deck. But this is room 2. Okay, yep. Challenge. Take down the dungeon map here. You are moving right along. Again, I want to thank everybody who's been tuned in tonight. You're watching Dungeon Masters of Entrath, the Hex TCG game show. Currently, the game is only recurring a weekly special game show type event. I am Thrawn. I create a bunch of dungeons, which are a series of special encounters, which players can play against to try to win the grand prize for clearing the whole thing. Keep this hand. It's a little loose. Format's Immortal format, commons and uncommons only. You cannot use rares or legendaries. You will note, though, that the dungeon does. Some decks will have rares and legendaries to fill in kind of that AI only card feeling and provide a little bit of additional challenge. Now you are allowed to switch decks between every encounter in the dungeon if you so choose, as long as every deck you use meets the rules. I don't design dungeons with the thought that they all have to be clearable by the same deck, so as long as what you're doing obeys the rules, you can use anything you want. People have used that rule to good effect in the past to create decks that specifically hate one encounter that's particularly hard for what their deck is trying to do, and then they'll move on the rest of the way back to their regular deck once they've got that hate encounter out of the way. The decks don't change for as long as the dungeon is live. That rewards regular viewers with some advanced knowledge as to what's going to be coming up in the dungeon. Alright, so we have a 1-1 lethal here and a 2-1 that when it dies, something else is going to have to eat it. Alright, so I really did not want to see a second Grievous Phantom right now. When this gets deployed, all your regular little 1-1 Phantoms become copies of this, become 5/5 flyers. So what we want to be doing is getting as many flyers down on the board as we possibly can, and then turning them all into Grievous Phantoms, which is also why we have Dance Macabre in here. Transform all troops into your crypt into Phantoms and put them into play, so anything that dies can be brought back later. The Blessed Scouts aren't really on theme, but they're a nice early drop to help give us some additional bodies that can help us try to last into the point where we're ready to go Super Saiyan with Grievous Phantoms here. Now this is when another troop dies, this gets +1/+1, which is really nice and something we'd love to see removed. Okay, Windspeaker's a pretty good hit. Windspeaker can pay 1, exhaust it to exhaust another target troop, and so that would keep the Profane Ritualist on lockdown. So we'll throw down our Conscript here, we'll throw down another Blessed Scout. Pass. The Blessed Scout can be brought back as a Phantom. With Dance Macabre, it would be good to get better value. Now, does this revert? This just transforms, so that might be a dud hit on Dance Macabre and just go immediately back into the crypt. Alright, but Noshi, does that work that way? Yeah, ooh, Savage. Savage denies us a Phantom, gets 2 attacks, or 2 adds onto the Profane Ritualist. That is very well executed. Gets another Monsagi Sniper, or Deadeye, or whatever it's called. So the Blessed Scout is not what the Doctor really ordered here. Because swinging in now with the Blessed Scout and a block is basically a trade, because this would deal 2 damage to the Blessed Scout, kill the Blessed Scout, and the Profane Ritualist would become a 9/9. So we would get nothing, and we'd actually be taking more damage, so I am not going to be swinging into that board. Jocko Ren is currently the only challenger in the queue thus far tonight. So if you have a deck that meets the eligibility criteria and you wish to play, just speak up in chat and let me know. Alright, I need to find some removal ASAP, like yesterday, on this Profane Ritualist, or it's going to be too late. I almost probably should have played Dance Macabre, because even 1 Phantom is a block. I should have done that, actually. Played that, get some at least 2 Phantoms out. Have something that can just chump block the Profane Ritualist to protect the health total, because now that might be lethal. No, this is because there's no first action here. Never mind. So that'll die. That'll take that out. You already dealt your damage, but we're absolutely dead if that cannot be killed next turn. Actually, no, I lied, because I've been talking about how I can throw this stuff out. Alright. Emergency blockers. Yep, so those 2 that have been made smaller were garbage, but we do have... Oh, you got more buffs too out of that? Oh, that's filthy. I mean, I'm going to swing in for 1 now because I can, theoretically. Is there any removal in this deck, though, that can deal with an 11/11 Profane Ritualist? Alright, Merciless Color. Oh, that's cute. Well, I'm going to sacrifice the one thing that can't block this turn. You're going to make me sacrifice a Phantom. And so now the Profane Ritualist is 14/14. And of course it has to get blocked. So we have bought 1 last draw. Shard is actually useful here, because that gets us 2 more Phantoms to chump block. Staying alive. This is a tough spot to be in, though. Basically just treading water and praying for some kind of removal. Because even turning one of these things into a Grievous Phantom does nothing to change the board state. A 5/5 dies just as fast as a 1/1 in the scope of that, and we're only making it bigger. Oh, and look, there's another one. I mean, okay. For funsies, we're gonna Grievous Phantom, but can't swing in with it. Running out of options. Jocko Ren just has to just keep swinging, just keep swinging. Alright, swings with both. I'm wary of something that's going to kill here. So I'm gonna block like that. I have to give up a Grievous Phantom to not die. Can play another Grievous Phantom to have 2 blockers here. And 2 blockers here. Dead by coins! It didn't even matter! It didn't even matter! He was just messing around! We dead. Alright, so Jocko Ren is going to move on to the 3rd room in the dungeon here. Encounter number 4. And then from there, we'll begin their final ascent deep into the bowels of the dungeon, going after one of the 2 remaining final bosses of this dungeon. So this is room 4. Send that challenge. Keep things moving along here. Our second dungeon run of the night, but still our first challenger. Huh. I'm gonna keep it. It's a little more resource flush than I would like, but it's easier to deal with than having none and praying for shards. Diamond Ice here can draw... Oh my god, okay. So we really have all the resources we need. So we can go Seek Adventure, because we don't... Right now there's no really necessary early drops. And just try to start finding those things to fill out this resource curve when it happens. Shackling Strands is here to lock down a troop of some kind so that it gets exhausted at the beginning of every combat phase, therefore is powerless to hurt us. Alright, so because Exalted Professor was the hit, I'm not going to play a Fate Weave Shard. Here, Exalted Professor is gemmed with Flight, and Diligence create a random action that will meet the thresholds to play and put it into our hand. So that's going to sail above the head of the Killblade of the Milky Eye and provide us some ammunition that we can continue to use. Our champion is Runecarver Darkon at 5 resources or 5 charges, double Sapphire Threshold. An action we control gets runic until the start of our next turn, allowing us to basically get 2 uses out of it. Alright, so Buccaneer was a good hit here. Buccaneer is going to throw that back up in the hand so that it gets more expensive to replay, allowing us to poke in with Zuburn here, deal a point of damage, and assuming that our Exalted Professor lives, we'll get an action out of the deal. Alright, you can poke me for 1, that is fine, because I know that probably wants something to die. Alright, Pride's Fall is going to be useful down the line here, actually. Seek, what am I thinking? Seek Adventure. I still have 2 more things to play here. And I think we're going to Shackling Strands that because I just have a strong sense that that wants something to die, and I don't want to enable it. Swing in for 3 here, and the clapback is only 1. Okay, so that is alright. I guess it didn't matter because that's still going to kill Zubrin anyway. Alright, so that is a Kraken for 5. Swings in with both. I kind of want to play Mystic Naturalist here, but Mystic Naturalist is just going to die. Windborne Ascension creates it, costs a troop with a cost 3. So playing that, plus 3 equals 4. That does not give us enough resources to Runic Strike on a Buccaneer. So I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble here, and I'm just going to hold. Alright, there is a Profane Ritualist, which profits off the death of everything else. That will block here. Play Runic Strike on the Buccaneer to give it Swift Strike, so it's going to be it gains 2/2, so it'll be a 4/4, and Swift Strike, so it's going to kill the Wakizashi and live. Play Windborne Ascension here to use our resources before they refresh. Get a 3-drop with Flight. Alright, for the moment. Whoa, okay, hand glitch. Deadeye Slicers is a 2/2 with Swift Strike, so for now, that's sufficient. And I didn't play it, but I guess that's fine. You're not going to take that block. Pride's Fall that was generated by Zubrin is also nice. If this thing gets too big for its britches, for example, 1 more charge, and the Killblade of the Milky Eye could be sacrificed into that to make it bigger. If its defense gets above 4, it can just go bang and get smacked down by Pride's Fall. So we're not too horribly scared of the Profane Ritualist right now, as long as it stays small. If it stays small, actually, it is a threat too. If it gets big, we can just take it out. Alright, Jocko Ren needed a second. Said beat right back, BRB, so temporary pause in the action here. Hope you all are having a good time tonight and that things have been going alright for you. Of course, as you see on the screen, right over this way, it's mirrored for me here. Right over there, if you wish to challenge the dungeon and you have a deck that's commons and uncommons only, by all means, let me know you wish to challenge the dungeon. What is up, my team Blows Duck? How are you doing tonight? Hope you are well. Jocko Ren needed to AFK for a second, so we're just chilling. Alright, Jocko Ren is back. The action resumes. Alright, feeding the young ones is going to take out the Mystic Naturalist, so that's a death. Swings in for 3. We have to take that. No other course of action. Windborne Ascension, just making the two drops. Alright, so we have 6 resources. That's 3, that's 6. That's 3 plus 2 equals 5. I think I'm gonna get Zubrin down here to maybe discourage a swing. I could have swung with a Buccaneer and tried to get one of those to trade, which would put the Radiant Profane Ritualist is what that card is called. Put that into the range of a Pride's Fall here. Almost want the charge power to get used on it, because then we can deal some additional damage out of this here. Alright, so Zubrin's presence did temper a swing. Now I'm going to throw down Mystic Naturalist, not send the Exalted Professor off on a suicide mission, pass the turn back over. Jacko Ren, okay, does use the charge power there to make the Shinhair Eulogist bigger. Swings in with both of those. I'm gonna Pride's Fall the one that has the, oh god, this, when another Shinhair you control dies, they both get bigger. Huh. Okay, well I'm still gonna nerf the Ritualist. And then I think the Buccaneer gets thrown under the bus here. Oh no! They got +1/+1 and life drain. We eat 2 off the coins, so Buccaneer's still dead as dead. And every time that swings is 7 health now. Okay, so these swings don't really matter, but we want to try to get an army of birds going. Prestidigitator. Give us a good action. Eldritch Binding is not what we were looking for. So I'm just going to throw down a Windborn Disciple here to make it a little bit harder to just die next turn to a single piece of removal that would remove an only blocker. But it's going to be a real hard road to hoe when they have to stop, just chump block a 7/7 every turn. And let Jacko Ren continue to gain 7 until we find some answers for this. No! No, my bird army! I needed you. Oh good, oh good, we get Psychic Ascension, because it's an action we have the thresholds for, and it costs its full 15. We're almost there. We're almost got it. This would be 3, that'd be 4, 5. You know what, this might actually work. I think that can get killed. Eldritch Binding takes 4 off of its attack power. So it swings. We double block. We Eldritch Binding that to make it weaker. And because Psychic Ascension tells us to. No, why you have to coins me? And now we give this Swift Strike 2 because we can. And that is 7 damage. Before the health got gained. Not dead yet. Not dead yet, fam. I'm gonna laugh so hard if we can get this, if this game can be a silent ascension thing. Alright, let's have Zubrin. Zubrin goes Super Saiyan. All the actions make me stronger. Psychic Ascension goes down to 11. Swing for 5. Now Martyr's dangerous. Turn target troop into a Monument of the Martyr, which means all the other troops get +1/+1, which is a very risky piece of removal to play around with when we only have 5 health. It means anything we don't block gets better. Can I make the trade there? I made a mistake not blocking the... I have a Swift Striker. I could have blocked that and lived. So that was a mistake. Fish Hands. Revert target troop. It gets -1/+2. More defense, less offense. So this... Yeah, that's a countdown of unknown duration. Swing with our good old Exalted Professor, play Mystic Naturalist, keep some resources up to Fish Hand something. Wouldn't you know it? We're gonna Fish Hands our own thing. Our Fish Hands Mystic Naturalist, which now does not do damage, but it just needs to diligence the things. Its Psychic Ascension is down to 10. Oh, I want to ascend now. I want to do it. Come on. Ozawa's Wish. Put target artifact, constant, or troop that costs 3 or less from your crypt into play. We got things for that. We got things for that. Throw down Prestidigitator as a blocker. Oh, Replicator's Gambit is so risky. Put a troop you control into your deck. If we find it and deploy it, we get 6 copies of it. Is Ozawa's quick? Ozawa's is quick. From your crypt into play. Okay, so we can wait on that. That can be a surprise. Zubrin doing work. Alright. Yep, you're not unexpected. That's fine. Alright, swing how you gonna. And now we're gonna wish to our Lord and Savior Ozawa. You know what? Out of this group, I want Preston back. Bring back the Prestidigitator. Make Psychic Ascension cheaper. Get another action that costs 1. And make some trades. Alright, Killblade of the Milky Eye comes down. Um, 10, 9, okay. Can't quite ascend yet. Throw down Buccaneer. Put Killblade back in hand. Indomitable Will is blocking troop gets +3/+3, okay. Replicator's Gambit is not quick. Now I'm just trying to figure out, what do I have to do to ascend? I don't have any other troops though. It's too. I'm being a little bit of a wuss and leaving that many leaving 2 blockers back. No! No! He conceded before we could do it! Ah! Oh well. Oh well. Dungeon Master will have to be on another day. You couldn't see it, but very early on, EFOS, we got a Psychic Ascension off of the Exalted Professor, and so I was trying to work the cost down to actually ascend on you. Good games. That was the. I had to fight with my back against the wall there. But good games, good performance to get 3 rooms in. And we're going to update the prize pool here. Messed up not removing that second professor. Yeah, if it's allowed to keep getting actions, things can get real. That was giving me a lot of tools to play with, or at least, you know, have options. Like I got the Eldritch Binding off of that. The Runic Strikes I had, those were from the deck, but they help facilitate some things. So we're going to add in 2,000 gold into the prize pool, which now has 30,000 gold, 6 booster packs, and like a dozen rares or more currently. So the prize pool keeps growing as people keep trying the dungeon. EFOS was the only player who has spoken up this far in chat tonight and said they wish to challenge the dungeon. So if you, yes you at home, have a deck that is commons and uncommons only from all of the sets, it's immortal, everything goes, and you wish to challenge the dungeon, please do speak up in chat. Let me know that. We're happy to have you. You know, this is a very welcoming, low-pressure environment. I am just happy to have you play. You know, we like to try to keep this casual and fun, so please do not feel intimidated with the fact that your deck will be shown on stream. I mean, I am not here to criticize you. I'm not going to be like, ah, look at that noob in their deck. Oh, they thought they could win. That's cute. That's not how this works. I'm not like that. My team Blows Duck is making a deck. Excellent. So we'll have you up next, unless anybody else speaks up and says they're ready right now. Jocko Ren, you are of course eligible to challenge the dungeon again later tonight. If we do not have fresh challengers, then I rotate people through, taking turns on whoever has spoken up and wishes to challenge the dungeon. So, well, my team Blows Duck is finalizing their deck. What I'm going to do is take a real quick break here, in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 minutes, nothing long at all. Just enough to make a quick bathroom run and refresh my water, because talking is thirsty work and I need to stay hydrated. And then I will be back and we can keep rocking. So give me a very short break, just a couple minutes, and I will be right back with you.
Jedi only held me back anyway.
Good. Execute Order 66.
It's funny how the dark side makes everything seem small. And the younglings that I've murdered can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do. The Empire's here, the Republic, it is through. No rights, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free, let it flow, let it flow. I am one with the dark side. Let it flow, let it flow. This is the end of the Jedi. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. What do you ask of me?
Go to the Mustafar system. Wipe out Viceroy Gunley and the other separatists.
Welcome back. Let's get the camera back on. And my team blows duck. Remind me your in-game name. Are you Ducklet by chance, or is your in-game name different? I forget. We should. You are Ducklet indeed. Uh-oh, folks. Uh-oh, folks. Ducklet's already got a graffiti tag on this dungeon. Ducklet has taken out a boss before and is coming back for seconds. Let's see if you got it in ya. Let me know what which deck you want, which starting deck you want to play, whether that be starting room number 1 or number 2, and that way I know where we're going. And I'm just sending you a whisper so that you have something to reply to with the challenge. And then we can roll. I'm afraid to go into the deck builder. If I'm in the deck builder, does that stop people from sending a challenge? Because otherwise I could go into the deck builder and give you a preview of one of the decks that's coming up in the Halloween dungeon next month. But I don't want Ducklet to be able to not challenge me. So I am sitting at, as far as the constructed ladder goes right now, sitting at gold rank 1. Had made it into the platinums briefly. Correct. Rare, no rare shards. That's another cheaty dungeon master prerogative where my decks will use them. I might relax that rule and allow the rare shards, but for now I'm not. If too much more time passes without one of the next bosses falling, then I'll probably relax that to help people with consistency. Just because I know I'm asking you to rip off 5 wins in a row against me to win the grand prize. So that's 5 games in a row is a lot of time for Kismet to take the wheel and go, "You shall not get thresholds." So I'm open to relaxing that rule. It's something I consider, but for now they're not allowed. As I was saying, while we wait for Ducklet here to finish up, I was briefly in the ranks of Platinum. Over the weekend, I was playing a Tri-Shard Human Ardent, or a Human Coyotal Ardent deck, Sapphire, Diamond, Wild. Had a lot of fun with that deck. I went 2-0 one night, and then the next night I went 8. I lost a game, and then won 8 in a row. So I had a 12-1 run with this deck, and was feeling just indestructible. And then on Monday night, I hopped into the ladder and I lost 7 matches in a row. Just got face rolled 0-7, smash, smash, smash. So that kind of brought me back to, after flying so high, that brought me right smack back down to earth with an 0-7 run. Taught me some humility again after I was starting to feel a little bit full of myself. Last night I played in the Arcanum Vault with the same deck and went 3-1, which is the first time in a 4-round constructed event I've done better than 2-2. So it seems like I'm either doing really good or really on tilt with that deck, and not a whole lot of in between. And Ducklet, how much? I'm not trying to rush you along at all, but how much time do you think you need? Should I jump into an Evo match or something to give you a few more minutes? So I can play one Evo game to give you a little bit more time if you need, or just jump in the Frost Ring Arena. Because if we need to concede and quit the arena, I don't really care until I find out that that's the one. Okay, finishing up shards real quick, then I won't get into anything. But for all you hanging out with me tonight, what is new and exciting in Hexland for you? Any interesting goings on? Anything special I should be paying attention to in the Hex community that maybe I don't know about already? Always happy to hear new things from y'all. PlayStation 2 release date was updated to October 10th, I think they said. October 3, yeah. So it's about it got pushed back about another 2 more weeks. I own a PlayStation 4, so I'm looking forward to giving it a try. Given that there's no mail system right now or anything to be able to send cards back and forth, it's never going to be my main platform, but it might be a fun way to just tool around a little bit and try it out, especially since I had, you know, my TV behind me here is a 65-inch Sony. I already have the ability to connect my computer to that via HDMI, and I've done Hexercise streams before where I walk on the treadmill, which is over behind me to my left, while playing Hex, and I just use like a bookshelf to set my keyboard down, and I can walk and play that. So I don't technically need the PlayStation 4 version in any way, but it's just you know, it'd be fun to mess around with and try out and see what's going on. Appreciate your all patience here while we wait for Ducklet to get ready. I'm going to give him a shot to test out a new deck he's been putting together here. Not rolling up with something pre-made, but of course if you do happen to have a deck pre-made, you're welcome to use it. I will continue to accept any new challengers into the ring. Let's see, it is now 8:11 p.m. I'd say probably until about 9:11 to 9:20 is about the point where I start to assess how many people are in the queue and make decisions on which way we're going here. I forget which room he wanted. Did he say 2? Dealer's choice. Alright. Let's see how your new deck fares against the Bounce Castle. We'll alternate. Ephos started on 2, then went room 1. So we're going to bounce you to room 2. And it's going to be Daughter of Stars versus Zorzum of Koru. Alright, this is keepable. So Zorzum, 3 shards, create 3 spiderling eggs for each opposing champion and put them into their deck. So Ducklet wants us to have lots and lots of spiders. So our hand is good in that it does nothing for it makes it hard for our opponent to do their job. We have Time Ripple, which will throw a card back into the hand and increase its cost by 1, so it's a tempo play. Although it only works on... Oh, wait. Put target card into... It doesn't even have to be a troop. And Buccaneers will do the same, but for troops. Slap it back up in the hand, increase its cost by 1. And all of this buys us time to basically build towards the one-sided board wipe and hopefully have enough troops on the board to swing in for a decisive final blow. Crackling Tide, more the same. Put another troop into its controller's hand, no cost to increase, but we do get a charge out of the deal. And Lanupaw's Sight. Interrupt all basic actions. I think I'm going to actually play this here not for charges, but to interrupt Lanupaw's Sight. So basically you just lost a turn and don't get your card draws. Alright, now I'm playing Buccaneer on 3. It feels a bit of a waste to do it with nothing to bounce, but we have literally 4 sources of bounce in our hand, and having that on the board will allow for the Cloudbounder to get mobilized into play as an option. Alright, so this time the Lanupus site is going to connect. No way around that. And so we'll use the Buccaneer to mobilize into play the Cloudbounder. And now if threats don't show up on the board, we're in a position where we can actually start swinging in and trying to do some damage. Except that Incubation Webs forces us to exhaust at the start of every turn and create a Spiderling egg and put it in the deck. So Cloudbounder now is actually a living liability that just is going to sit there and continue making decks, or eggs. Swinging in for 2 here, and then passing the turn. This is something I may want to consider at some point, using a source of bounce to rip it back up into my hand and then just sit on it so that it's not generating eggs anymore. Vilefang Eremite is going to get thrown back up in the hand. And now we're going to try the old Buccaneer swing. I'm fine if these trade. Throw down Mystic Naturalist. And pass it on. Again, try to make the bird army. Dark of Night. Dark of Night kills Mystic Naturalist. And Ducklet gets a Nightfall, so every turn we're going to lose 1 health off of that. I need to find something that's an actual threat, though. Right now, we're just playing a whole lot of bounce around. Ooh, okay. Nightfall combos with Psychic Torment. So every turn we're going to lose a card because Nightfall deals us a damage. Psychic Torment says, well, no, you lose 1 health. So we lost a few good things in there. Oh no, 2 Spiderling eggs. No. Alright, I'm swinging in because all of those Spiderlings are unblockable. So there's really nothing I can do about it except, you know, try to do some damage or have it sacrifice itself to take them off the board. Okay, we lost a Sapphire Shard, nothing important there. That is totally fine. Okay, gonna let a spider hit because there's bigger threats than that. Lost a Mystic Naturalist. That hurts. Get slapped with an Azurfang Decree. Oh, that's real painful. No more eggs. Alright, so once again, Bounce Castle has all the bounce, none of the threats to go with it. Lost flyers, lost troops. Alright, you can have your Vilefang Eremite. Go to your combat phase. Yeah, you know what? We're going to make you more expensive so you can't get replayed this turn. And I'm going to make you more expensive so you can't... You're harder to come back. And I want to do that before combat damage is assigned, because when all these spiders hit, cards are going to get peeled off the deck, which is going to lead to more spiders coming out, which would have led to additional points of damage. Okay, so again, not a whole lot that can be done here. I think Ducklet's got the spider engine going on good enough here that it's going to make it really hard to push any kind of damage through in time. No. No Vilefang Aramite. Kill me without it. And that is pretty much what is going to be happening here. More spiders. So close. One shard short of being able to wipe away all the spiders. Didn't happen though. Damn it, you duck. I literally just made the deck you're running. Great minds thinking alike. How do I kill the Dungeon Master? I throw spiders at him. Well, that's... we don't even have to do the math. That is enough spiders. So Ducklet is going to move on to room number 3. And after room 3 is Runecarver Darkon again in room number 4. So let's see. Ready when you are. Torment, yeah, he saw Psychic Torment Nightfall and thought, why not? It's a subtle combo, and it doesn't require a whole lot of work on your end. You just need to have them in play, and it does the triggers for you. So just, you know, boom, and hey, it helps get them spiders out. All right, room 3. Boom. Map is gone. Alright. Swamp Butt. Can Swamp Butt stop spiders? Not with that hand. Alright. We'll try to make do with this. It needs a non-resource. Got plenty of resources.
Thanks for listening to this cover of Reigns of Castamere. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like on the video and maybe even subscribe if you're feeling extra generous. I would also like to thank you all for supporting my work by watching my videos here on YouTube and...
Alright. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna skip this one too. And this one. Get a little bit deeper in the shuffle of the playlist tonight. Get some Doom remix up in here. Again, if the music is too loud, let me know. I've turned it down a couple times, so I think it's okay now. But I can't. I have no way to check that while I'm streaming. Alright, so put some Swamp Gas in the deck. Swamp Gas is a little bit weak against a deck that wants to mill all of those out, so that could be problematic. I think we set ourselves up this way, and next turn with 4 resources, it's a Flickering Gobbler, Crackling Bolt, full swing, and then we're already spent. Crackling Bolt won't kill that outright. Alright, so just, I guess, dome the face. alpha, because that can't kill either of those. So 1 point of damage will get through. I'm really not afraid of 2 damage on the crackback right now. Flickering Gobbler comes back in the hand where it's going to have to sit until there's a resource. Thunderfield Elder, next action in your deck, it's when you play this, copy it. Alright, no counter swing. So go up to 5, seek some adventure to try to find some more actions for us. And I kind of missequenced here, actually. I think I should have played the Swamp Gas into the deck before the Thunderfield Elder, so that there was a chance that those, when you play it, copy it, might have hit a Swamp Gas. But then maybe not. Maybe I want the Thunderfield Elder to hit something more powerful than just making a second Swamp Gas. Spider Eggs are a non-resource too. But they're not an action. Alright, Arcane Alacrity. When we play an action, we gain a resource. Helpful if we ever find an action. Okay, that's making 2 eggs a turn? Oh, because it makes 1 on its own, and Hatchery Cultivator doubles it. Got it. Okay, I'm following along. That next action is going to be so good. It's going to get milled by, it's going to get completely wrecked by Psychic Torment or Azurfang Decree. We're never going to find it. We'll see what it is in our crypt and we'll marvel at how cool it was, but we're not going to play it. 75 cards in the deck. Bogberg, and we can't play it! Ah! Each champion discards their hand and draws 7 cards. This gets +2/+2 for each action drawn that way. I'm not sure if that's good or just straight horrible in a deck that's full of Spider Eggs, but we're gonna do it for the funsies, for science. We're gonna see what happens. I mean, surely, file this under famous last words, but surely Ducklet can't kill me before I find 1 more resource, right? No, it's gonna happen. I just cursed myself into that happening, but all right. So 2 more spiders go in the deck, and then we draw all of them. So Stifling Sting is prophesized. Deal 3 damage to target opposing champion or troop. If you deal damage to an opposing champion this way, interrupt each action with cost 3 or less. The funny thing is, that will cause it to interrupt itself. We have scienced this before on copies. This is actually not the action you really want copied, because if I hit face and then try to do anything else, it wipes clean. So what we have to do here is actually target troops with it, and target a troop, and then target a troop. Because as much as I would love to just repeatedly hit the face, that's not how that works. That gives us license to replay Flickering Gobbler, swing in for 4. I also want to know why I didn't get, did I get, I think I got maybe 8, I think I got a charge for that, but it would have been cool if I gotten charges for every time that copied. Alright, you can't kill me before I get 1 more resource, right? So many spiders in this deck. There's some gas, there's more spiders. Hey, he didn't kill us before we got there. Alright, how many spiders does this draw? More than 10? Less than 10? How... This is almost certainly how I kill myself in this matchup right now. Okay, come on. Come on. Let's see how horrible this goes. 1 egg, 2 eggs. Not that many eggs. Yes, basically killing myself. Did get a couple gas. Which I'm gonna... Okay, what's 1, 2, 3, that's 4. I'm gonna hold the gas. This may actually work out. Kill his face with the swamp gas. Hit it, hit it. On a turn where Flickering Gobbler can come out. That's 6. That's some more. This might work. No! No! Flickering Gobbler got locked down. What's up, Stigma Buster? It is absolutely not too late for you to join the queue. Hop on in. We are facing Ducklet right now. And Ducklet is trying to kill us with spiders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage coming in. Alright, lose a bunch of cards, lose all the cards. Oh, that's death by Vilefang Arrowmite. Okay. Boom. Well, we tried to live the dream. Tried to live the dream, but Ducklet said, "Not today. No, sir. No giant gobblers for you." And so we're moving on to room 4 here. Ducklet, 3 encounters deep in the dungeon now. 2 away from the final boss and becoming, I think, the first person to be a multi-winner in the single dungeon. It has not yet happened before. Ducklet's already got his name on the dungeon. Wants to do it again. I was actually expecting more spiders to get hit with how many spiderling eggs you had in the deck. I was like, I kind of got off easy. That I'm not... It didn't just play it and then you immediately kill me the following turn is how I expected that to go. Alright, room 4. Let's do this again. Runecarver Darkon have what it takes to stop the spider train? Runecarver Darkon's gonna go first. Keep this. I think I'm gonna Fate Weave for a non-resource here. This hand is a little bit iffy because Shackling Strands is actually probably not very good in this matchup. You throw it on a Spiderling Egg and it's kind of a whoop-de-doo. And most of the other Venom are not on the board to facilitate attacking anyway. So this could be a little bit of a bum deal. I think I saved the Shackling Strands for a turn. Turn 3 could Buccaneer that back up into hand or something else, conceivably. Alright, so change of plans. Exalted Professor is going to come out to play. And we're going to hope that Zubrin survives long enough to give us some quality action. Alright, so go ahead, hit me for 2. That's going to put an egg in the deck. And then some more eggs. Yep, I know what you do. Alright. So the other advantage of Fate Weave is we can put something on top of our deck. I think I want a shard here. She'll swing. Go, Zubrin, go! And then Buccaneer Not the strongest play for Buccaneer, but we'll get that out of the hand. Or back up into the hand. Pass the turn back over. Hope we don't see immediate strangulation of our Exalted Professor here. Okay, no strangulation, Vilefang Eremite. Which again, as a 1/4, its purpose is not to attack. That is not why it is there. Alright, so just to try to sail over the incoming spider hordes, we'll play the Mystic Naturalist, which creates a little bit of a tension point for Ducklet in the removal game. If you're resource strapped and you only have and you're looking for a removal threat, do you want to get rid of the thing that keeps making me actions, or do you want to get rid of the thing that's going to keep making me flying bluebirds? The answer is probably to try to ignore all of that and then keep on keeping on the Spiderling generation game. So Zubrin, good guy Zubrin, immediately off the top gives us a Scouring Light to destroy all constants. So yeah, Zubrin and I are tight. Just immediately pop the Psychic Torment. Now I'm going to swing in with these two. Like, thanks, buddy. The most directly relevant action I could get. I'm not gonna use the Shackling Strands on that. That's not gonna be attacking in. Thanks, Zubrin. Alright, so Dark of Night is gonna take out the Mystic Naturalists. That's supposed to be the big threat. No! No! Next turn there's 2 constants down. Dang it, premature constant destruction. Oh my god, I did forget to halt. Yep. Because, see, I never have this card. Halt, interrupt target quick card. I totally could have stopped that. And I forgot what that does. Alright, so Robotic Rapture, put all artifacts in your crypt into your hand. That's not really going to do anything for us. Oh, good. The Illusion of Choice. Do you want a shard or do you want a shard? We'll take a shard. Thank you. Thank you. Now, see, this is almost a boon on the Skittering Cultivator, because that guarantees it's going to exhaust. Yep, the combo train has begun. Losing that bird was a huge mistake. Lanupaw's Sight. Gonna bank some future card draws. Alright, losing more, getting more spiders put in. Yeah, I think, alright. Should not have swung with a Buccaneer in retrospect. What you got for me, Zubrin? Mind Call. Choose up 2 cards in your hand. Those cards get cost -1. Yeah, I don't. This is a fistful of actions that don't really impact the board. Fine, you can't attack. You can't attack. You can't attack. And I'll save 1 resource for halt. Zubrin, old buddy, old pal, I need you to give me like a Bring to Justice or something right now. Or a Purge. Purge would work. Alright, so that's 3 damage, 3 cards. Just needs to hit a couple spiders. Didn't. Actually did us a favor and got rid of a couple of resources. Twin Eternities! Not gonna live long enough to play that. You can't attack. Mind Call. Up to 2 cards. That would make it cost 1. I don't think you can do it twice. Zubrin always giveth and take away. And make it runic. Oh my god, yeah. That would be absolutely sick if we lived long enough. But we're not going to live long enough because we're at 2 health and there's 2 spiders swinging in. I don't think Mind Call hits it twice. If it does, I just completely crap the bed again in a very major way. But I think it said choose up to 2 and they get cost -1. That would have been the sick beats. Alright, so Ducklet getting very close. Ducklet is 4 encounters in, is on room 6. Wins again, and Ducklet is facing a final boss. So we're going to room 6. Alright, 2 decks that want to corrupt the other person's deck. May the best evil piece of corruption win. Zubrin giveth and Zubrith taketh away. So we're gonna keep this. This deck thrives on being able to get away with murder, basically, or just keeping things on the board. Gonna seek some adventure. We have Tribunal Magistrate in here as one of the power cards. You get this late into the dungeon, we're bringing the hurt. Whenever you play a non-resource card, I'm going to put 2 Spiderling Eggs in your deck. Also have a Kill to take a threat off the board, and an Eldritch Dream Thief, and a Strangle. So we got some nice things here. And so we want to use Grixel the Profane with Eldritch Dream Thief to try to accelerate some card removal there to facilitate our own dastardly Spiderling Egg deeds, and just general, if we don't win by eggs, then just straight up milling. Alright, so let's grab that second blood. Throw it on our Tribunal Magistrate. There's a lot of ways to kill a Tribunal Magistrate, though it can be especially in that kind of a deck. You could have the sacrifice a troop to kill a troop. That would work. Regular old kill is going to do it for you. In these shards, those are kind of your best options. Alright, so I've got another real salty AI card here, the Bastard Spawn of Bakrug. When it hits, it's going to mill half your deck. So get huge threats, susceptible to many forms of removal, but if you don't have it, you're going to have a bad day. Alright, Azurfang Decree hits again. So we have lost an Azurfang Decree of our own, we've lost a Boglum, we've lost a Strangle and a Kill. Had to lose a Spiderling Egg there. And now we ship the Bastard Spawn. Get 1 egg of our own, throw down the Eldritch Dream Thief, and pass her back over. And ooh, the lack of early removal. Lack of early removal really hurt there. Kind of feel bad about how quickly that one went. Hit some of the AI power cards early. They stuck. Bastard Spawn of Bakrug actually hit for the first time ever. Bastard Spawn of Bakrug. Every time it has hit the board, it immediately gets killed. So for once in its life, it actually did the thing that it threatens. Very good run, Duck. Solid. Made it to the second to the last fight. You saw a good chunk of the dungeon. We're adding 2,000 gold into the prize pool in your honor. And up next is Raptos, aka Stigma Buster, who plopped in, has not had a challenge tonight, wants to go. So Raptos is up next. If nobody else speaks up as a new challenger for the night, then Ephos, you will be next after Raptos. And then after the next 2 runs, we shall see what time we have on the clock yet and make decisions from there about how many more runs we'd be able to squeeze into the night. So initial order right now is Raptos, Ephos, or Stigma Buster, Ephos, my team blows Duck. Will be the rotation through the 3 of you again if you want runs. Assuming nobody else speaks up tonight saying, hey, this looks fun, I want to crack at that. So, alright, Stigma Buster, anticipating my question. Oh, I'm just sending you the whisper since I already had it typed. Whoops. I meant to say okay on 1, but I'm ready when you are. Room 1, aka Random Shenanigans. Every time, so far, every time I've said, you know, maybe I was a little too hard on the difficulty level of these decks. Maybe I should nerf them. People repeatedly tell me, nope, we're gonna kick this deck's ass. We like the challenge, don't nerf it. So far, I have yet to ever nerf any one of the dungeon decks, but I do want the dungeon to actually be beatable. I did not design this as an impossible challenge, you know, just to give you the illusion that you could actually win prizes and then never win anything. Others will verify it is possible to beat the dungeon. It has been done. On my YouTube channel, you can see Dungeon Masters of Entrath Hall of Fame of people who have beaten every deck to claim grand prizes. But I do kind of keep a track of things, and if I think some decks are trending into too far into bullshit land where nobody can beat them, you know, I'll nerf accordingly if the Dungeon Master gave himself a bit too much strength. This is not keepable. Almost seemed good. I would actually rather have this. Because here we can Fate Weave for something adventurous. And on turn 2 we're in a position to play the Whimsy Witch. And then if we, depending on where we go from there, we could Fate Weave for another resource or for something else. But we're already good to go to get to 4. So that's not a bad place to be. Alright, Bloodbearer. Whenever a troop you control dies, gain 1 health. Combos nicely with the Dread banner, because a Dreadling's going to die every turn, so it's a good source of some continuous health gain. And now I'm going to get the Whimsy Witch down. And now the next draw will be interesting, because I kind of want to play the Dreamspoke Mystic on 3 to be able to see what the top card of the deck is. And you can pay 2 to put the top card of your deck on the bottom if you so choose. And that could be useful to help try to stack things up the way we ultimately want them. So yeah, I'm going to do that. But I'm going to do that after combat. No! That's so bad! Oh god, no. When you plan action, this and Crackling Clash is basic, so these could double block. Doesn't do so. Dodged a bit of a bullet there. Alright, so we're going to be drawing Windborne Ascension, which conscripts an underworld troop with cost 3 and gives it flight. Alright, so here's the combo. When you gain health, each opposing champion loses 1 health. So Dreadling dies, which through Bloodbearer triggers the gain of a health. We lose a health. So that there's the way we passively meet death by Dreadlings. Alright, so I'm gonna Fate Weave here to put some adventure on top of the deck, and hey look, it's our win condition, so we're not going to get rid of that. Wreckosaurus 5/3 crashing in. And now this is also nice because thanks to Wreckosaurus being a 5 troop, we can now use Crackling Clash to have it battle that piece of the combo and take that off the board. And the phase here, we can play Windborne Ascension at the end of their turn to make something. Alright, Spring-Litter Disciple. When one of your cards would create something that costs 1, create that many plus 1 instead. So now the Dread Banner, the Dread Botanist, whenever 1 Dreadling is going to be made, 2 are going to be made instead. Raptor still sitting pretty comfortably on 19 health. Proof that Dungeon Master RNG is not always broken. We have a flying 1/4. Hardly anything super exciting. Alright, so we Fate Weaved a Woolly Moa on top of the deck. Throw down that. And now I don't want to swing with the Whimsy Witch anymore. I think there's enough blockers there that the odds of it going well aren't that high. Probably play Woolly Moa as is. Fate Weave a resource on top. And then go gangbusters on Polymorphic Army. And just trying to make the biggest troops possible, and crap. So Death's Head Rider is going to force us to sacrifice a troop. I think I actually want to get rid of the Whimsy Witch right now because it does not fly. Cavern Commando at least can block Death's Head Rider. Alright, Volt Wrench makes the banner cheaper, so now those will come out on 4 resources instead of 5. Alright, block Dreadlings. See, greed gets you punished. So go ahead and play the Woolly Moa. And I'm going to keep a resource on top of the deck. Hold my swings here. Draw that. And then that'll be at 6. We'll be at 7 for Wild Speaker Shaper Caliban. So these 3 troops are all going to be transformable into 5 drops. And then one of them will be able to further ascend up to a 7 drop. But this is a lot of Dreadlings crashing in. Block you. Block you. So the Dreadling suite is online. That's also a lot of health being gained with 2 Bloodbearers over there. So Raptos can kind of just laugh and say whatever if we poke him in the face for a turn or 2. He's like, yeah, whatever. And then just crack back. So we're gonna have some fun here and see what we get. I realize this is quick, but let's see here. Turn everything into a 5 drop. And we get Succubus. When this attacks, target opposing troop becomes enthralled. Basic, pay 8, exhaust, gain control of all enthralled troops. Zodiac Shaman is a 2/5 that now has flight. And Gore Seeker has Rage 1 and Swift Strike. Of these three, I think the Zodiac Shaman can probably do for an Ascension. Hacks. Alright, so Arendelle, flight speed, not really the upgrade we were looking for. I think I'm probably just going to swing with this and make that enthrall. I think I want to like take the combo pieces. The 3 health is trivial. Raptos is going to get way more than 3 health back just off Dreadlings. Although I guess it's worth noting that we need 2 more resources to actually be able to take the things that we have enthralled. Alright, and dang it, so that got weakened. This is hard to swing in with. And Succubus can't swing in anymore. I don't know why, I thought that was a butcher. Punt. Probably doesn't matter. Oh no! I misclicked! Well, I just let through a free point of damage. Dungeon Masters of Entrath. And, oh, yep, there's the punt. There's the punt, I see, because that's only for a turn. So swing and enthrall that. Just gotta live long enough for Succubus to do some work. Keep stealing the combo pieces. So Raptos needs just one more resource to be able to summon a second Dread Banner and make this problem even worse. So we're down to 14 health. 14 versus 43. Alright, let's take some minions, I guess. Gain control of all enthralled troops. Give me your toys. And I still... that would be Rage 1. Yeah, I'm going to swing it with that one. Try to just keep growing it into something that maybe does enough damage to become relevant. The health difference here, though, is still pretty real. And the Vilefang Eremite is also a huge problem, because now Dreadlings equal... Just the fact of Dreadlings existing creates health problems for us. Arcane Focus for Storm Drummer. Storm Drummer is going to give the next troop in the deck the ability to battle something. Yeah, I'm going to enthrall your Vilefang Eremite because that's going to kill me the fastest. And I can probably... Yeah, Succubus is the... Okay, fair enough. Succubus is the only reason that this game isn't over. I will acknowledge it. The Succubus hit is the only reason this game is not over. So should we double down on the wacky crazy here? And you know, like YOLO for 7 drops. The correct play is probably to take the Vilefang Eremite here. So we're not going to do it. Mistake one for the other. Let's. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we probably shouldn't die next turn. We're in a YOLO for 7. We're blind swinging. We don't even know what our 7 drops are going to be. Smash his head, repeated end. YOLO! Alright, let's see what we get for 7. We get a Bucktooth Roshi is a 7/7 accrued Southern Hair. Bastion of the Necropolis is a flyer. Why do we get all Bucktooth Roshis? They're like a dearth of 7 drops. 1 short of lethal. Alright, Raptos, can you do 10 points of damage this turn? If so, I'm hosed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can do it! He can do it! I overcommitted for funsies. And I got punished. Yeah, I was 1 point short. He got the top deck he needed. There you go, Raptos. You got room number 1 beat. And that is the proper Dungeon Masters of Entrath style to do it. Random, weird shenanigans. So Raptos is going to move on to room number 2 here. And Raptos, just send me a challenge when you're ready here, and we've got room 2 ready for you. When I see a polymorphic army in my hand, as Dungeon Master, I feel like morally obligated to have to play it. So I could not swing in there and just go for broke with it and see what kind of 7 drops we got. Though I'm disappointed that so many of them were the same thing. Still, it was good. It was fun. Wild's favor for the win. Yeah, the old room 1. One of my friends built that deck, and after watching it on stream so many times, I didn't send him any of the cards. He just built that deck from kind of like memory of watching it, and then randomly sent me a challenge and surprised me with it. I wasn't prepared for that because I'd sent him all the cards for a Sapphire Diamond Flyer deck, so I thought that's what he was going to be playing. Oh, it's Dreadlings! I think, can I send you it? You're on my friends list. You should be. Here you are. Immortal. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Room 2. Room 2. Fight. Let's take down the dungeon map. It's a pretty linear path, so it's kind of mostly to remind me which deck I need to be playing next. This hand is absolutely nothing. It kills a thing, it has 4 shards. It does nothing. I'm torn. Do I keep a hand that does nothing because it has 4 shards in it? No, that's better. That's better. Can remove 2 things. We have a Blessed Scout to make some things. So this hand actually can do something within the first 4 turns, which is kind of what you want to do in a card game. You know, play the things, generate the value, create a board state where you can try to maybe win a game. Alright, so we found our end game. Our end game here is Grievous Phantom. Transform each Phantom you control into a copy of Grievous Phantom. So for every Phantom you get, all of a sudden you have a bunch of 5/5 flyers on deploy. So what we want to try to do is build a world state where we have some Phantoms out there to get transformed. I realize the Blessed Scout is not really on theme, and for the revision of this deck that's in the Halloween dungeon, because this is the baseline that I was kind of working with on the Ghosts and Spirits themed dungeon. These guys get cut out of there and replaced with stuff that's more appropriately thematic. But as it is right now, this deck wasn't designed to be completely 100% into the Spirits thing, and thus these guys are there to help add some additional troops. Alright, Bring to Justice is nice for threats. We got 3 pieces of removal in hand. This isn't really a control deck, but when you find all your removal in hand, I mean, I guess you gotta use it, right? Ooh, no Blood Threshold is rough, though. Alright, so we got a 1/1. When you have no cards in hand, this says +3/+3. It's not going to be any time soon before that prophecy comes true. So, Raptos is not in a good spot right now. Has 3 resources, but no Blood Threshold. There it is. We have 3 pieces of removal in hand, and the means to make more troops. Alright, I think I'm going to just bring one of them to Great Justice. Swing with everything, because every one of these troops is expendable. So it's 10 after 9. I'm taking down the Seeking Challengers notification. We are going to still, of course, keep playing out our usual time. with Jocko Ren currently on deck. Alright, Explosion takes out one of the Blessed Scouts, so that hurts the troop generation. And 4 Dreadlings come in. And that's 4 health gained, isn't it? Yep, off the garden. Oh, RNG. At the start of your turn, create 2... Wait, that's bad, isn't it? Those are... Oh, we can't play this. The Spectres are diamond. We'd be flooding our deck with unplayable cards. I almost windmill slammed that on the deck, but that's not playable. Bad things would happen. What do? You are a 1/1 because we're a mono diamond deck. You don't do anything. Alright, I'm gonna save the 1 resource for a moon call ceremony. This deck is doing well for only having 3 resources to speak for itself. I think maybe I should consider Decree of Banishing the Dread Botanist here, because the Dreadlings existing is a constant source of annoyance now on health gain. Each opponent sacrifices a troop. Hey, guess what? I have a Phantom now. A Phantom, if we ever get to 7. Alright, that is also a problem. Because now even with the Botanist gone, there's 2... I also made the mistake of not playing that Mooncall Ceremony when I deliberately held up a resource for it, like a professional. Alright, so Decree of Banishing, 1 thing. Decree of Banishing, 2 things. Still have to face 3 Dreadlings a turn. So this board state, it's not yet as lopsided as it looks. Raptos is going to hit for 3 and gain 3 health back, so go up to 12. Well, we'll go down to 15. And is 1 away from hitting another banner. Up, doesn't like it though, tosses. GG's Raptos. As always, thank you for playing. Your blood on the floor of the arena enriches the prize pool for those who challenge after you. And coming into the mix, we have a Blight Bramble. The 6/6 troop that when it dies, it creates some of the Blight Bushes, which are 2/2s. So it kind of has the Cascading Death effect. Very nice card for any aspiring Deathcry deck. Okay, so double freaking decree. Yeah, those were in my starting hand. I was sitting on those the whole time. my first hand was kind of stupid on like having half the deck's removal in it. I think you're correct. RNG loves the Dungeon Master a little more than it should. But I'm going to take another really quick break here to refill my water again. And then, Jocko Ren, you are in the on-deck circle. So if you want to play again, I'm assuming you do, just let me know which starting room you want to use, or start in, and we'll fire up a challenge when you're back. Alright, I'm back. Let me get the camera turned back on. Boom. Alright, excellent. 9:15. Got enough time for 1, possibly 2 more runs this evening. Alright, EFOS, are you still here? Are you still interested? Have not heard anybody else plop in and say that they want to throw down. Alright, excellent. JACQUOREN. Okay, that's not even the right text window. Whisper. Challenge when ready. Let's do this. Starting room 1. Jocko Ren. Maybe related to Kylo Ren? Maybe not. Jocko, one of the lesser-known Knights of Ren, has come to the land of Entrath to do glorious battle in our dungeons and try to win an escalating pool of sweet, sweet loot. Everything going alright over there? I see a I sent you a whisper, so you should be able to challenge me when you're ready here. Keep challenging and it's not going through. Try sending me a whisper and I'll send you a challenge. Just like reply with something and I'll try to throw a challenge your way. Hope you all have been enjoying yourselves tonight. I appreciate everybody who's been hanging out with me in chat. Just kind of quietly lurking and watching. I appreciate you folks too. Plus you're on my friends list. Oh, well, the derpa. The game really needs to, like, change this to show your, yep, right there, Jocko Ren. The game really needs to, like, put your online friends near the top here and everybody else lower so that I don't have to dig super deep to find you. We're in the final hour of this week's episode of Dungeon Masters of Entrath. We do this action every Wednesday night. This is the 34th episode. Next week is right about the 8-month mark, even. Working our way up towards episode 50, which I don't have any plans for because that's still a couple months away. Working our way up towards 1 year. Just kind of keeping at it, slowly, gradually, building up our fellowship of people who like to do random dumb things on a Wednesday night in Hex. Alright, so depending on how deep Jocko Ren gets here, this may be the last run of the night. We shall see. Challenge. Wait, did that even give me a I didn't screw that up, did I? Jocko Ren challenge. Okay, because this screen didn't even pop up. Now it's here. Starting room 1. Challenge. Okay, so the challenge went there. I want to say good luck, but I also want to play again. As in, play well but die early. We are not going anywhere. So let's see what random trouble we can get ourselves into. Snap keep, I don't even know what I've got. Yeah, this is fine. So we have 4 resources. Cottontail Explorer can fish out more. Night Sky Prophet, one of my favorite uncommons from Primal Dawn. I would draft the heck out of this card whenever I could. The next troop in your deck gets +2/+1, and if you're at 6, you can empower that to make that +4/+2. Such a good card. I'm going to Fate Weave for a non-resource because we already are at 4, and Cottontail Explorer has the ability to get us more. I don't think we need to put a resource on top of our deck right now. Jocko Ren, playing a champion I have not seen around these parts for a while. Target troop gets, when this deals damage to a champion, bury the top card of that champion's deck. So it's a different kind of bury mechanic. Oh, we had a polymorphic army at the bottom of the deck. Did find 1 resource. There's still 3 more in there. Okay, no play. So we'll take our courtesy point of damage. I'm going to be interested to see where this deck is going, because I think one of the big strikes against Patriarch Ozen is that champ power. It, on its face, doesn't seem super powerful, and 18 health is kind of not the place to be usually. All right, so there is Psychic Torment here. When we eat damage, we're going to lose some cards. And I think exhaust you to bring in the Cloudbounder. Oh, hey, look what the Dreamsmoke Mystic is telling us is on top of our deck. How about that? I love Polymorphic Army. I love the random shenanigan cards that just do broken, dumb things but aren't constructed playable. No! 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 You milled away my Polymorphic Army. No! The dream. You killed the dream. Oh, hey, but look, it's still there. Do I have a way to draw it? There's another one. No, we're not going to get it! Oh, no! Oh, no, we're not going to get it because Nightfall. You kept the wrong hand. Rip. Yeah, we might be able to... Wait, I can do this. I can put it on the bottom of my deck because we're not going to get it. And I don't have the threshold to play the Night Sky Prophet. So we lose the Storm Drummer, not the biggest loss. Should not be so bent about out of shape on the things we don't have and rather enjoy the things that we do. And put a resource on top. Play Howling Brave so that Night Sky Prophet becomes playable, I think. And swing, yeah, he's probably in trouble here, just from the crushing weight of things swinging in here. Because we can pound in one more, and that's just going to be ripped by weight of troops.
Hey guys, Little V here. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, I think that does it.
Feel free to click on these other videos.
We didn't even get to see what it's trying to do besides the Oh, I have to only lose one. All right, Clackling class. Didn't really get to see it take off with what it's trying to do.
Rock on. Peace out. See you next time.
What do we get off of that? Underfoot Commander. All right, so we got what we needed. Ducklet, you're getting your wish. You're gonna get to play tonight. Poor Junko Ren says he kept the wrong hand. GG's. You can blame Ducklet. There's no logic, but just blame Ducklet for saying he wanted to play again tonight. It was a curse. Alright, so we are adding a booster pack into the prize pool. Hero Fall, Scars of War. So we're at Frostheart. So there's one Frostheart booster in there. So now we have, in the current prize pool, one booster pack from every single set. Plus the 32,000 gold and a menagerie of different rares. So some cool stuff in here. And now Ducklet, you're up, and Ducklet, you are almost 100% certainly the last challenger of the night. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and say you are the last challenger of the night, because if this goes even two games deep, I'm not going to want to start all over. So Ducklet, just let me know which room you want to start in. Or if it's dealer's choice again. Alright, 2, he wants to play the Bounce Castle. Immortal, come on now. Start 2. Alright, and let me see, you're looking good. We'll be live again, of course, next Wednesday, same time as always. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. It's a little bit sketch just because it's one shard short of greatness, but I think we can get there. Ducklet playing Takahiro throws down Naive Lackey. A good baseline tool here. Sacrifice it to draw a card. It's a target you don't mind getting rid of here on your 3 charges. I will let y'all know as things develop, but I believe I'm going to have a role to play in the upcoming Hex charity stream. Still waiting to hear from Neo on a lot of the organizational details. I know he's got a lot of other stuff going on that front right now, and it's a month away anyway, so probably will be a little bit before there's anything to say. But Dungeon Masters of Entrath may be a part of the Child's Play charity stream this year, which I am super thrilled about, and we're gonna have a total blast. I'm gonna go all out for that if my plans get approved. So I probably shouldn't say too much more about that yet, since nothing might come of it, but I'm really excited about the possibility. Alright, there's the magic 3rd shard that we so desperately needed. I'm going to play the Thunderfield Elder to give the next action in the deck when you play this, copy it. Put target troop, that only targets troops, that's card. So that only delays the inevitable slightly. Yeah, let's go ahead and just balance your Bloodbearer. Get out of here. Welcome to the Bounce Castle. You'll bounce too. We'll bounce together. Alright, so 2 Dreadlings a turn are coming in now. Ducklet got 1 card draw off of the Eager Lackey, sacrifices a coin to take out another. plays down the more expensive Blood Bearer and has a Thought Collector Death Cry. Put the top card of each opposing champion's deck into your hand and its thresholds become blood. So can take one of our toys away from us. Alright, a little annoying that to still be on just 3 resources here. Gonna Buccaneer the Thought Collector away. Get out of here. We don't want your kind here. Swing for a couple points of damage, though this feels a little bit futile in the face of Dreadlings and getting health back. Because the Buccaneer basically is wiped away by the health gain from the Dreadlings dying. One more resource and a sacrifice, and that's even more health, so there's a lot there to kind of provide some staying power. Also, for a deck that wants to get to 10 charges, not finding resources is kind of sad. Alright, there's a good combo. Played Gruesome Deed to kill the Thought Collector. Was able to use that to take out our Thunderfield Elder and steal one of our cards. And I think I just saw Call the Grave there to get it back. Yep, the Thought Collector is not there. So not only did it take a card, but it's back. And I'm not gonna bother to swing into that. Alright, there's our 3-cost Thought Collector again. Oh my god, again, the combo. Kills it to take a card and remove a threat. Alright, 4th resource, please. Well, we know you got one of our resources. I want a 4th resource. Come on! Save the Crackling Tide for a bigger threat than a Blood Bearer. Oh, and now this is one you don't want to throw back in their hand because then they can do the whole scrounge game again. I believe Raptos was one of the people who showed me just how brutally effective that card is when you keep giving it some form of recursion. Hey, there's the 4th resource. Hallelujah! Nothing in the crypt as far as actions go, so Mystic Naturalist is the play. Oh! Oh, the salt! He got my prophesized Crackling Tide. That's so mean. And I can easily, the scrounge can easily hit again. And so now I'm going to have to sacrifice 2 things. Ducklet, just using my own toys against me. And another Thought Collector. Man, that Bounce Castle not scary at all. You pride yourself on taking cards no one thought about and then proceeding to run people over with them? There you go. I think I'm just kind of screwed here. Lol, you make fun decks, I want to try them. I missed his joke at first. Well, you make fun decks, I want to try them. Yeah, he's taking my deck and trying it out for size. I missed the joke the first time. Sailed over my head late at night. Alright, so we did. We very much did. I now have 1 troop. Ha, just kidding. Just kidding, I have 0 troops. So that's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Nightfall was the 8th. So, Daughter of Stars is daughter of... Got wrecked. You can't bounce things that don't care if they get bounced. They're just like, whatever. Whatever, no big deal. So where's the dungeon map? Alright, so we lost it round 2. So up next is room numero 3. Alright, try to keep things moving along here. Okay, Ducklet on the ball. Room 3. That one. Take down the map. Risky.keep. Gonna Sapphire Ice for a resource here. Pray for a Sapphire. Not a Sapphire, Ruby. Ruby, Kismet. Ruby, I meant Ruby. The red one. Never mind, I'll just get it. I am gonna still go for a resource, though. To make sure that we hit our drops for the next several turns. Turn 2, Wolvir Basher. See where things go from there. Man, Flickering Gobbler does not like to see a Thought Collector, that's for sure. Alright, Wolvir Basher, get out there. And next turn I may Buccaneer. We'll see if the Thought Collector gets sacrificed or not. It does not. I think I want to make that as inconvenient to play as possible, even though I'm sure there's multiples of those in the deck. So you can what allowed it to? Okay, Zentod Songer, sacrifice a troop, gain 4 health, draw 2 cards. All right, so you denied my bounce. Kill your thing, steal one of my cards, and still get a ton of crap. Rude. Alright, let's put some Swamp Gas in the deck. I'm going to throw down an Arcane Alacrity maybe next turn. Stole an Embertongue Skarn. There's actually enough actions in there that could go places. Really? Really? Can't have nice things. You know what? It's gonna be the Wolvir this turn. Flickering Gobbler and Crackling Bolt combo next turn. Crackling Bolt to kill the Death's Head Rider to clear the air for the Flickering Gobbler. Crash in for a lot less damage than I was thinking I would have. Yeah, because that could sail over and hit for 2. Ducklet may be fine with that, seeing the health disparity here and that it can keep growing. Okay, no swing. Removal.deck. Get out of here. More gas in the deck. Flickering Gobbler. I would like to rage for 3 damage. Tomb Swap. I could have checked. Probably, I'm going to assume bringing back something that's going to wreck my troops. Gaining more health. That deck is just reduce, reuse, recycle. Alright, the Buccaneer has zero hope of life if it gets played right now. It's never gonna get to swing. Take a hit from a coin. Ducklet is playing with a very well-tuned piece of work over there. Alright, Lanapaw's Sight is an action, gains us a resource, gains us a charge. We played an action so Flickering Gobbler can do its thing, and watch it get strangled! Oh, just kidding. Even worse, Dark of Night. Long-lasting consequences. Gotta eat another point of damage. Alright, this is prophesized. When you play this, draw a card. Alright. When a troop you control die, but no, you know what? No, I'm gonna hit you in the face with this. And put some things in there. I'm gonna hold the Crackling Bolt. The 3 damage doesn't mean much on the eve of Ducklet being able to use Takahiro power yet again. Ayo, Swamp Gas, get out of here. Alright, now that there's an actual thing to bounce, I'll send you back up into the hand for now. Even though the cost of replaying you is pretty trivial. Oh man, I need to get on with it here. I'm losing 2 health a turn. $27 to 9. Death's Head Rider, no scrounge, already can make me sacrifice a troop. I could consult the talent, but I have no troops to feed to it. Yeah, you can die. And I'm just gonna slap you in the head because I need to figure out a way to get damage. Throw some more swamp gas in there. You know, there's a fair amount of gases in here to try to find, but very, very little time to find them. Yay, prophesize, play that, draw a card. Next action, I guess when you play this, copy it. I probably need to just play this for the sake of trying to push in a couple points of damage if I get lucky and it actually survives. There's very little... yeah, okay, boom, dead. No, just kidding. There's very little path to being able to do... Oh, come on! Come on! Take my swamp gas, fart in my own face for 2 points, and then draw some cards? Ah! And now make me sacrifice my dude again, and that's gonna be... it's gonna be how she wrote. Fear my Ember Tongue Scarn! Fear it! Oh god, I could consult the Talon now. No, just kidding. Well then. Well then. Alright, 2 decks absolutely destroyed by Ducklet. And we're going to move on to room number 4. Room number 4 of Ducklet's run for the night here. The run that is going to close us out for the evening on this episode of Dungeon Masters of Entrath. Room 4. Accept. The prize list has grown 30 times now. 30 challengers have fallen without a winner, so it's grown pretty significant. Ducklet wants to rake home that sweet, sweet loot. Runecarver Darkon is the next opponent in the way. Alright, let's see here. Let's Arcane Focus. I probably want a shard. Yeah, I want a shard. That guarantees Prestidigitator on 3. The Shackling Strands are going to be nice to hit the troops that do attack here, like the Flying Death's Head Riders. Still not going to stop them from coming into play, making sacrifice troops, and then being sacrificed, going into the crypt and repeating it. I mean, they still are going to be a ongoing removal threat, but their damage potential could be mitigated. The Takahiro deck doesn't really have individual strong threats here. This has kind of been death by 1,000 cuts. I have yet to recall anything that actually plays off of Assault, so I kind of feel like Douglas just swinging in for lulz. Alright, Prestidigitator, what you got for me? Shield Bash. Target troop gets +1/+2 this turn and can be empowered. Not the greatest hit. Not the worst. Runic Strikes are better. Alright, let's go ahead and seek some adventure because we have resource number 5 in hand. Swing in here. Now this is the hand that makes you wish you had a Psychic Ascension in deck with all of those actions. Yeah, you know what, Buccaneer. Bounce you. Don't you Strangle Preston. That's rude. I also could have done pre-combat, but... well, I guess you wanted your block to draw your card. Tomb Swaps, brings a card back, throws down a Dreadling in its place. We have a blocker for the Dreadling, so we're not afraid of that. And in comes Eager Lackey, in comes Bloodbearer again. It'd be funny to make Naive Lackey unable to block, but that really wouldn't matter because it's just a total sack target anyway. Alright, go ahead, take your card, press a digitator, give me an action. Eldritch Binding, opposing troop gets -3 attack, and we bury 3 cards. Against a deck where burying cards might be doing Ducklet a favor. Called to the Grave on Naive Lackey. Alright, so really wants to keep throwing down that block. And with the benefit of drawing a card, sacrifices it, gains 3 health, draws 2 cards, 1 off of the Lackey to begin with, 1 off of Takehiro's power. So again, 6 resources, 4 cards in hand. Alright, I will actually swing first. Swing first, ask questions later. Eldritch Binding you. Yeah. Pushed out some wonderful targets to want to reclaim. It'd be interesting to see what we lost. I want to save the Runic Strikes where they're gonna actually trade up on combat on something or be able to get through for more damage, because Ducklet just casually sitting here with 30 health, and that just destroys target troop. Power doesn't matter. Swings in with Bloodbearer. Maybe I do need to like Shackling Strands those things. Two, 3, yeah, alright, I'll just take my 2. Genius Engineer. When a dwarf or robot you control exhausts for the first time on your turn, ready it. So basically it is only a 2/3. It is a 2/3, do nothing special. I should have given the Windborne Ascension Runic Strike, or Runic. Get 2 plays off of it. Get a couple flying troops to attempt to sail over. But Tomb Swap is going to pluck out a Death's Head Rider, unsurprisingly. Death's Head Rider is going to have ample fodder to scrounge. Force a sacrifice here. Alright, so bye-bye Buccaneer. Bye-bye Flyer, and now again the Death by 1,000 Cuts. I'm gonna lock you down because I really feel the need to do something. Exalted Professor. Maybe Zubrin can give us a method to get ourselves established here, not constantly on the back foot. Alright, so predictably, Death's Head Rider is sacrificed. In comes Thought Collector. we are going to block here because we have Shield Bash. Oh, come on! It's basically just survive, make me sacrifice my things, gain a lot of health. Okay, Arcane Focus, Mystic Naturalist. Get the Naturalist out there. The Naturalist is going to die very quickly. I mean, our silver lining here, if you can say it, is that Ducklet has no charges and only one card in hand. So we... Fine. I did say it was going to die right away. I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. And now we're dead in 3 turns. Regardless of anything that these troops on board do, we are dead in 3 turns. And have to overcome a 35 to 6 health deficit. Okay, we're dead in 2 turns. We are dead at the start of his next turn. We are dead. Yeah, we're not dead this turn. Alright, we are just dead now, though. Pass the turn, night falls, bang. So Ducklet, once again, is going to return to room 6, where defeat was met last time. 2 rooms to go. Could Ducklet sneak in once again under the radar as the final challenger of the night? Take advantage of a tired dungeon master. Walk away with some sweet loot. Dungeon room 6, yes. 6, go. We'll take down the dungeon map. Ducklet, 2 games from winning the grand prize. Alright, go first. This deck definitely has what it takes on the aggressive removal front to keep Grixal in check. Alright, so I'm gonna Prophecy for some adventure because we have 4 resources in hand already. Here goes the mean mill deck. Mean mill deck versus I can kill your troops 100,000 times. Let's hope I survive past turn 5 this time. Yeah, with this hand, it is much more likely that you're going to survive past turn 5. Oh, hey, look, it's a Tribunal Magistrate, though. Dat Tribunal Magistrate. Need double blood for Strangle and Bastard Spawn. There is a Thought Collector. Alright, so our Tribunal Magistrate on 3 again, because of course. Now, does it stick long enough to do any real impact on the quality of Ducklet's deck? I do have to take 2 here. Alright, here comes another Thought Collector. Alright, so I think... See, kill kind of sucks on those because then we lose cards out of our own deck. I'm going to Azurfang Decree you here. I'm not realizing I might be doing you a favor. Got rid of 1 Death's Head Rider, 1 Thought Collector, 1 Dark of Night. And then we're going to actually hold the Chronic Madness, I think. Try to get Ducklet to put a few more Spiderling eggs in the deck for us. That way there's a better chance of hitting something. Dark of Night. Got rid of one, could not escape the second. It's now Dow have to take 5 damage. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do that. No Spiderling eggs found. Did get rid of some recursion. Kill has the ability to take out some threats. Disadvantage of taking out these two is we're going to lose a card out of our own deck in the process. But I feel like that might be necessary for the sake of life total preservation here. I hope you didn't get one of the good ones. Sacrifices the lackey, is going to pick up a couple more cards, so has a fistful of cards where we have very few. We get our second blood threshold. Alright, so I have to try to get the bastard spawn of Bakrug out here to connect with the deck, but that could get strangled immediately. Nope, coins for 8. Trying to find an answer for it. We have an answer for that to allow us to swing in and connect next turn, potentially. Tomb swaps, okay, that's your answer. Tomb swap a Deathhead Rider. And now, because this is the only troop, it's going to have to get sacrificed. So we're not going to get to enjoy a bastard spawn of Bakrug. Or that works too. So Gruesome Deed will take care of it. Got to take 3 more points of damage. Yeah, that mean mill deck, not looking so mean right now. Not looking so mean at all. Need some Brides of the Damned. I'm just kidding. Get strangled.
You're walking in the woods. There's no one around, and your phone
Get
is
dead.
out of the corner of your eye. You spot him.
And I'm now naked. No, you get no. No, you made me. Oh my God.
He's gaining on you.
That's not immediately powerful, but it is super annoying.
Turned around. He's almost upon you now, and you can see there's
Yeah, that's gonna be death next turn.
blood everywhere.
That's death next turn. Eldritch Dream Thief is not gonna get in. Thought Collector will swing in for 2. Nightfall will deal 1. That equals 3. Got everything you needed. Ducklet is going to face a boss tonight. We are going to end our stream on a boss fight.
You're hopelessly lost yourself.
We are going to end our stream on a boss fight. So Ducklet once again has to make a choice.
Aha! In the distance,
Which final boss are we going for here? Are we doing boss fight number 3 or boss fight number 4? Dungeon Master offers no hints as to what is in either of those. You must venture bravely into the unknown. Choose your destiny. We are doing boss number 4. Alright. I am ready when you are. What is boss 4?
into the dark woods, blood oozing your stump leg.
Final battle.
Shia LaBeouf.
Alright. Stretch. Get limber. The dragon must protect its horde. It's the illumination. I'll keep this. Undeck your energy. Spirit bomb engage.
Topples to the
No,
floor.
I'm not giving him my energy. The dragon must protect its stash.
Fall to your knees and catch your breath. You're finally safe from Shia LaBeouf.
Alright, so that's not exactly what I wanted to draw. Would have preferred to have seen some shards. But at least it's a little bit of a board presence. I want to try to get the Illuminate off before I'm forced to sacrifice it. And this deck's best hope might be going wider than... Okay, that was really bad. Going wider than Ducklet's ability to make a sacrifice. Alright, really need a third shard here. To a wide, get lots and lots and lots of candles. 3 Flame Lick is really nice to have with another resource. Yep, see I lost one before I could illuminate off of it. There is the much requested resource. Let me have my candles. Let me have my candles. Flame Lick will kill just about anything that comes out. Totem Trap deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking troop. Alright, we shall illuminate to summon a Candlekin. And then I'm gonna swing in with these 2. Wax Dawn was a big reason why he took second in Functions Tournament. Well, congrats on second. Yeah, the Wax Dawn is fantastic. Just the sudden surprise Illuminate too. Alright, I'm gonna do a Totem Trap there. Which is responded to with a Zentoth's Malice. Alright, fine. We're going to hang out here with the surprise Wax Dawn. What you got for us on 5? I'm sitting on a fistful of Illuminate triggers. Alright, what is coming? The Bloodbearer. Alright, that's the only thing in the crypt. That's alright. Yeah, the equipment makes it Illuminate 3. That's ridiculously strong. So far for our own part, well, we had 1 rare resource, but otherwise really no power stuff. Yeah, that we're gonna let happen. And now we're gonna make some more candles. because we know the way to beat you is not to be big, it's to be wide. Although in this instance I'm going to flare out. And swing in for 7. And hope that some of this sticks. Because Ducklet wants to make us lose all of our stuff. Alright, so we now have to sacrifice a troop. Oh my. Alright. Flame Lick is going to kill that. I think I still get the Illuminate, right? Candle, can you control get +1/+1? And let's swing in for 9. Alright, how many Candle can Ducklet kill today? Ducklet is going to call the grave, back the Death's Head Rider, and it needs, what, Scrounge 2? There are not currently 2 things to scrounge. So that is not going to work as a sacrificial outlet right now. One potential line of play does sacrifice the Bloodbearer to gain 3 health, find more options. Ducklet's up to 14. Has a lot of survivability here, makes it very hard to kill. And now 5 resources out. And here we've got Trail of Totems, Conscripting an Ardent Troop with cost 4. It gets +2/+2 and the socketed powers of this. This is socketed for dealing double damage. We're going to open with swinging for 9. And we're going to lose one of our candles. Now this is Illuminate 2, that would make this 10 damage. We're hitting for 6 now. Would be hitting for 10. Which would put him down to 4. But that deck just does so much sacrificing that I think the play is just to take our 6 and be happy and create some more candles at the end of Ducklet's turn here. Ducklet on 8, facing 6 known damage incoming. Each opposing champion sacrifices a troop. This is why we need to go wide on candles. Summon more candles. Make all the candles bigger. And this is theoretically lethal. I say theoretically because Ducklet has a proven capacity to... Oh my god, is this going to hit? Oh, he didn't have... I thought for sure he was going to have one more piece of removal. Oh, what a run. But the luminaries were too much. My team blows Ducklet 10 shards too many. That was a bummer. That was an excellent run. That deck terrorized everything we were trying to do. Very, very well played. And we're going to update the prize pool one last time, adding Nog Nog of the Pack as an additional rare into the prize pool that's going on. Ducklet's got the stuff. I think Ducklet's deck has what it would take to potentially take down the dungeon. So I want to thank you all for hanging out. I hope you've had fun watching Dungeon Masters at Entrath tonight. I always have fun doing this. Hope you all have fun competing and seeking glory. The dungeon is quite hard to make it all the way through. If you win, you should rightly feel like a badass. Your name will go down in history of the Dungeon Masters of Entrath Hall of Fame. But this will do it for me. I'm going to be back again next Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Central Time, which would be I believe 8 to 11 on the East Coast or 5 to 8 p.m. on the West Coast. So until then, thank you all. Have a great night.